just to give you a sense, where this whole thing started actually was with this very scenario, where I was at an ayahuasca ceremony in Mexico. I'm sitting there and I'm meditating, opening my heart to just kind of share at a very vague kind of general level with my friend, and really not having any expectation around that. And all of a sudden, I feel like within a couple of minutes, this massive surge of energy shoot up my spine and through my body. And he's sitting to my right, and all of a sudden, my right arm just spontaneously just reaches out and grabs his head, kind of similar to the Vulcan Mindmeld thing. And at that point, again, I've been doing psychedelics for quite some time, so it's like, okay, well, this is really weird. I don't know what this is, but I'm feeling okay with it, and I'm pretty good with, just observing the weirdness. And so this is happening, and then all of a sudden, my body starts to quake, my arm is quaking, and my body's vibrating, but it's very uncomfortable. The next thing, I'm crying my eyes out, like I'm sobbing, and there's just this profound grief pouring through me. And there's no story attached to it. I don't know what's going on, but I certainly am very aware of the emotion. And, tears streaming down my face, and it's all very difficult. And and I'm holding his head, it's probably, 20 minutes to half an hour. Of course, it's hard to be sure of time in this context, but it was a fairly long time. And eventually it ended. But of course, the big question is, well, what was that about? So the next morning, I asked my friend, like, obviously we had this connection and this strange experience. What was it like for you? And he described how he had a daughter who died, I think she was about 4 or 5, from a disease, and he was a physician. And so you can imagine, right? Like a physician not able to stop or prevent the death of his young daughter being a very difficult thing to go through. And he had never grieved that. That's what he told me, that he had never grieved the death of his daughter, and that this experience was the first time in his life, well over 20 years later, that he began to reach into the emotional grief around her death.